So now I have a $450,000 mortgage at 7.25%, and the payment is $3,069.79. So here is the thing that we want to understand when it comes to these loans, folks. If you can afford the payment, then this loan can be for you. If you can afford the payment, then don't be afraid of getting a 7% loan. You know, these folks are saying, wait a while, maybe they'll drop. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll keep on climbing. Okay. So here's what you need to understand. Don't wait to buy your real estate. You buy real estate and wait, because you have opportunities. You can gain equity. You can start building wealth. Now, let me show you something that's unique about a 7.5% interest rate. The principal payment is small and the interest payment is quite large. So we have a principal payment of $351.04. That's it. A small principal payment, but the interest payment is $2,718.75. So Don, that's what makes it so expensive, those interest payments. And you would be right. But that's doing it the bank's way. We don't want to do it the bank's way. We want to do it our way. We want to do it the P.I.L.L method way. And by understanding having a smaller principal payment matters, I'm going to give you just a quick tutorial. On the very first payment you see here, $351.04 goes to principal, $2,718.75 goes to interest. But on the very next line, line 2, $353 goes to principal. Now, if you make your mortgage payment, the very first line, if you make a full mortgage payment of $3,069.79, this is just an example of what you could do. You see, the principal payment on line 2 is $353.16. Did you realize you don't have to wait till the next month to give the bank that $353.16? You see, before, people didn't know what happens when you paid extra. I'm going to show you. Just by taking some money out of your bank account that's sitting there making 0.1%. What if you were to pay that $353.16 early? What would happen? Well, all of that money would go to principal. That's number one. Number two, you'd be paid down to line 2 on your amortization schedule. And your next month's mortgage payment will actually be on line 3 of your amortization schedule. In other words, for $353.16, you can get rid of 1 month's worth of payments on your mortgage. Line 2 has been eliminated. Yeah, gone, canceled. And the interest on that line, the $2,716.63, you never have to pay. Oh my gosh. All right. So if you can get rid of $2,716 worth of interest by paying $353.16 early, is it important that you know what happens when you prepay? Is it important that you know how powerful small amounts of money are when you attack an amortization schedule? You better believe it's important. Hey, Giovanni, good to see you this morning. All right. So let's follow what's going on here. All right. Let me see here. So why is it important to understand? Why do we need to know what is the smallest amount of money we can pay to gain the greatest interest savings? So it's not just about saving the interest. It's not about just paying off fast. What we want to do is optimize our efforts. I want to gain the greatest benefit from the smallest effort. That is what isolating the principal amount will do for us. We want to find out what is the right amount of money to apply to the right debt in the right month on the right day of the month. That's how we do that. My name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, and our team created the most powerful money management, wealth building, debt elimination system ever created. At our recent seminar in Nashville, Tennessee, the keynote speech was delivered by the #1 motivational speaker in the world, Dr. Eric Thomas. E.T., as he's also known, mentioned he paid off his mortgage in 4 years using the P.I.L.L Method. I invite you to watch and listen.
Listen to me, y'all. One of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
Did you hear that? No mortgage, no stress. If you would like to become debt and mortgage free within an average of 7 to 9 years by cutting your interest costs by up to 75%, go to PILLmethod.com and request a savings and earnings report today.